Our whole grievance procedure is pretty much bullshit, okay? If there's an issue, we're supposed to file a grievance. Then if you read in the contract, step 1 goes to the supervisor, and if they can't fix or solve it, it goes to step 2, which is sergeant, and then it goes to step 3, which is head of HR and the warden. So if there's an issue on the floor, step 3 is an actual meeting between the county HR and warden with the person that filed it and the union attorney comes as well. All these grievances that we've submitted are being heard today, February 12th, 2018, and the end result will always be the same. Pretty much these are the actual grievance forms, and they all went to step 3 and are being held at like 10:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. today. It's like clockwork down there. The county just goes in and denied. The group 1 that says cross-gender periods, that's going to be held today, and I personally guarantee you they're going to deny that as well. This is the funny thing. When they deny something, they use the same written context hundreds of times. Our next thing, if we don't get anything done, is we're just going to go after the union. They've had more than enough time and tons of ammo, and nothing gets done. They scheduled my step 3 on a work day, so I couldn't even attend the meeting if I wanted to. I'm not about to work a 16-hour shift and stay over for another 4 to 8 hours. A union representative spoke on my behalf, and the county just denied it as usual, and now it's up to our union attorney to take them to court. So they basically say, fuck you. They got to spend more money, and court is too expensive. But we have almost 600 people that are paying $33 a month to the union, and that comes to almost 20 or so thousand a month and $250,000 a year or more. But they aren't doing shit. The county denies almost every single one of our requests. They say they are adhering to it, but they really don't. And the union isn't trying to fight that because it's really expensive. All it boils down to is Kenneth Mills, the regional director, and Warden Ivy, and above them is the sheriff. We've had sit-downs with the sheriff, and it doesn't go well. All that's said is there's a process, and we have to follow it, and that's it. If you were to look up the budget and see how much goes to corrections and how much goes to the sheriff's department, most of the budget goes to us, but we get treated like shit. Mills and the warden make cover-ups over everything. A prime example is regarding the spoiled food served and corrupted trays with stagnant water and food particles that get stuck in the cracks of those trays. We took that issue all the way to step 3 and it was denied. The reason? They said they ordered 500 new trays and spoiled food was never served. So they admitted half of our issue by saying they bought new trays, but there's over 2,300 inmates most of the time. So first off, what does 500 trays cover? And there's 3 meals. So if those trays are used for lunch, they can't be washed in time for dinner. Such a joke. I mean, there's exactly this kind of retardation that goes on here, across the board with Mills and Ivy. Oh, and spoiled food was and still is being served. We documented that for half a year and raised complaint after complaint with actual trays and food for evidence, but it just doesn't make any difference. Whether we're trying to do something for ourselves or look out for the better interest of the inmates, it's just always denied. It also doesn't help that inspectors tip off the jail before they come and only get access to certain areas of the jail. The whole jail is rigged. There's nothing else to really say here. We're doing everything we can before more people get hurt or assaulted. I mean, we have 3 class actions against the county going right now, but everything takes time, and during that time, you have the inmates who suffer, the correction officers who suffer, and we take all the blame for it. All the while Warden Ivy and Mills gallivanting around with female staff, and, nothing gets done. Nothing.